first map. I'm on board. This is a great matchup.
Is Jerry's strat book a Death Note book?
I didn't catch that,
I
was it?
swear to God, that's what I just saw. It was only at a glance, but still. Let's get into Inferno. The desk have set the scene perfectly. It's going to be a dance of utility, and we had plenty of that on Dust 2. I'm Machine, he's Henry, and we are jumping into the first round of our second map of our first series of our third day here at the Major. Ooh, let's see what we've got in store. What's the shopping list brought for the CTs?
Well, we have got 3 sets of Kevlar Foam, an Incendiary from Shox. I'm interested to see where he'll deploy that. He's getting it ready towards middle, and he's got a teammate listening up for any sort of sound cues. So that's a big investment there. You can see he's got the Incendiary for $600 and the Flashbang as well. A kit for Amanek, Flashbang over the top towards B. So the bomb, though, will be making its way towards the apartments. They've got 2 smokes, 1 Molotov for the T side. No upgraded pistols as they start to make their way through the apartments here. No CT presence detected. No one towards B at all.
This is going to be a 4 versus 4 on A.
Yep.
5 versus 4, of course. You know, do see every single member of 4 starts to arrive. And Lucky, well, he's arrived in the kill feed in a very big way. Shox' flash has done fantastic work, and so have G2. This round's as good as over. Almeza left in a 1 versus 4, and Jack's finding higher ground to try and find his third. Shox beats him to it. Quick and easy for G2.
Well, there it is. Oh, the Incendiary didn't even get deployed. Shox held onto it. So he was baiting his teammate very nicely there. Didn't have to throw that valuable bit of kit, and it will be a convincing finish there for G2 with no plant coming in from forZe whatsoever. Coming out of the apartments, like you said, it was a 4-on-4 battle. G2 hitting every single shot required, and we'll see a force buy in the second tier. So no rifles to speak of, but MAC-10, a scout, and a couple of pistols thrown into the mix here as well. We've got Almeza, who had to drop a weapon, so he'll be the standard Deagle. No armor. XC Power saving $1,000. I assume he dropped the scout. Almeza, that will be.
Well, that's a lot of nades invested into B, but it doesn't stop Face Crack. He's straight ahead of it. Almeza's there to try and swing, but unfortunately for them, Amanek is there, and that's a signature weapon for him. Doesn't matter, MAC-10, MP9, UMP, SMGs do seem to be his forte. Shox looking to hold now in the loss of Amanek. Smoke will arrive from his teammate as they rotate in. It's from Kenny and pushes through. Perfect work from Shox just to make sure no funny business occurs in the mid-round. Just Jerry, he's picked up Extra Power's scout.
Jerry will recover the scout. He has a CZ in reserve and a smoke. It's looking for anyone pushing the extremities of the map here. Currently on towards that bridge, but this looks like G2 will be keeping 4 players alive. They don't have to overcommit. 2 on either side. No problem at all. We've got a lovely setup towards B. Both of them challenging just at the entrance of the B bomb site. So it will be an eco next for forZe. G2 looking to close this out 2-0. But the pick of forZe, and their CT side is brutal. That's when XC Power really can show us what he's made of. T side, they need to post it like 4 or 5 rounds at a minimum, and they'll be absolutely fine. They're more than capable of doing so. We saw their protocols in Dust 2. They're a fantastic team, and this is their map pick now. 15 seconds. Looks like I'll just be saving the scout at this point. The option, Kenny S pushing down towards Banana.
Trying to keep hold of this. The Kevlar and the Scout's a powerful combination.
Has to keep it out.
Could get caught. Lucky's on the walk. Yeah, I don't see a world of where Jerry keeps hold of this one. They're going to have him from both sides. Let's find Kenny, and the corner's there! Time is there! And Jerry keeps hold. Whew. I mean, it's small, but let's see what they can do. The fact that that goes back into the hands of Extra Power, I've seen some absurd things. Admittedly, on the CT side, he did have quite the round. Credit enjoyed it from the miner with the Scout on this map. But on the T side, I'm sure he'll be able to have equal impact. The first round he tried, though, caught by Shox' aggression.
Well, here we go, then. A little bit more interesting in the full eco with the CZ and Scout being saved. You can see they've got a couple of P250s, Face Crack with the Deagle as well. They have got a fighting chance to do something with it. Bomb plant would be fantastic. A couple of kills would do. Slight damage there from Almeza. Spamming shots towards the top of Banana. Did just catch Shoxy there. Towards middle they go. Tags Kenny, that Scout's going to be a nuisance.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to be comfortable holding Arch with that low HP. You know, P250's in play. 1 bullet would have done it. So that tag from Extra Power does force some, albeit small, changes in the CT defense. checks that scout presence and actually pulls out 2 nades from the pit players. That's information. He knows there's 2 pit side. As they find themselves just waiting on the other end of that smoke. What's the strategy here? They are anticipating both pushed up CTs, and they throw all their bodies at them. It's gone pretty damn well. Jerry unfortunately caught Flit, but it's 2 versus 3 with a site wide open. They can at least get that plant. You said a couple of kills and a plant, the dream scenario. Well, they've got all of it.
Yeah. They probably won't be able to hold on to this, but they've got extra money going forward, and considering Jerry was left with nothing after saving the previous round, it has led them to a slight edge for the other players here. Like I said, the low HP suggests that this will be ending pretty quickly. There it is. It is 3-0, but a couple of kills in the plant. That's what we wanted to see, and they've got it. So that will help them out with their funds generally. Allows Joe to actually get some cash going forward, and after the 3rd stage loss bonus and the extra $800, leaving him with enough to get the AK and armor here. He won't be able to get any utility, but at least he can buy for himself. He doesn't need a drop here. Probably go for the Galil, considering he is the in-game leader and wants to probably have a bit more utility than the other players. We'll see.
I mean, forZe, with what they had, they managed to make that really work.
Wow. No nades for him. Yeah, you're right.
Completely naked. Just the basics.
Bits and bobs.
JB Wabies.
3 players towards B at the start. It's G2 battling control here. This is all the SMGs. They know they need an opening pick. They've got control of Banana so far. There is a chance Amanek could get flashed in and go a little bit further. They smoked the very top, and that's exactly what Shox has in mind, but he's lost a bit of vision here. He's going to be firing off speculative shots, seeing if he can take the attention away from Amanek. There it is, just trying to suggest no one's down there. But they got to check it. Jerry seems to be cognizant at least. Gets the first kill. No damage taken.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay a single point for that. But look at this from FaceCrack and Flit. The passive hold from G2's A has enabled them to sneak right behind enemy lines. They're going to hit those steps. FaceCrack can receive library. Oh, and they don't have to reveal Flit's location just yet. The number's just the 1. This is going to really throw Jax into a bit of a spin, somewhat of a downward spiral. The bomb's on its way towards A. Lovely execution from forZe. Posturing B, Jerry finds that frag on Amanek early, and then the A flank.
They're a really nimble team. Like they obviously have an objective in mind when they get some basic map control, but they're happy to change it. If they get advantages or maybe disadvantages, they're happy to move things around and just cancel whatever plan they had in mind, considering the circumstance they find themselves in. So that's a really nice call. They were heading towards a B pincer there. They hear the footsteps towards library. They got in there very quietly as well. G2 had no idea. They're making a lot of noise. He gets that frag. He's like, you know what? We've got that rotation. A's probably the position to go. And now they've got 5 players alive. This is always going to be a difficult round for G2, considering they entered it with a few SMGs. That's what they're going to try and hold on to now. Kenny S with his MP9. They'll look to drop down and get the AWP out next round, but I don't think they'll be surviving with both players into the next round.
See, they're doing everything they can to keep hold of it. Shox is running out of health and bullets. It's FaceCrack to finish. A triple from him, who has been another name at the tip of the tongue when talking about the stars of forZe. FaceCrack and Extra Power impressing. Jerry's calls impressing Henry, that's for sure, on Dust 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
And less than idyllic coming into the 5th round of play on our 2nd map for the French.
There it is. FaceCrack showing us what he's made of to close out that round. It's fine for G2 to take a partial buy here. If they saved those weapons, they could have bought into it, but trying to stay a little bit more conservative here. They haven't got armor, but they have got upgraded pistols and 5 smokes. Going to try and slow the round down, but forZe having none of it. They're going to be going in together. Remember, no armor. Lucky is incredibly vulnerable at this point. Tries to drop the smoke, but they're still continuing their assault towards A.
Extra Power finding Jax is huge. That deagle spot from Kenny's only the 1, but Lucky finds a double. Excuse me? G2 with so little could very well take this round. Jerry might have something to say about that, though. Does get the bomb and the first frag. Smokes it off, trying to play around it. Knows the CTs are going to start to try and group up, play this one smart. He's going to go straight to B.
That's so well played. He knows they're going to group up together. Most likely, they've got apartments as well. They couldn't be further away. They can recover some weapons here, but he's going to plant any second. They're probably realizing it now. The site's completely open. Bomb to be planted. Jerry has plenty of time to reposition. He can get towards Ruins, he can get towards Spawn. He knows he's got time on his side, and he's got a Molotov as well. So Ruins is going to be the position. Very advantageous one if you can beat the CTs towards their spawn, but it's actually G2 focusing towards that banana position. Both players there, they have an AWP and an M4.
Could you molly the bomb from where Jerry, like if Jerry was to extend
I think you can already bounce off the skybox. Yeah. We know exactly what the plan is. Yeah, that is possible.
Let's see, he has one in his hands, but 2 to find. They picked up the weapons. Let's not forget no armor present for G2. Jerry's element of surprise. They've used the smoke to try and draw them. And they've done it in the smoke. G2 with just the pistols. It was chaos on A. Jerry smart to try and get that bomb down, try and stabilize after the slip up, but G2 just twist the knife.
Yeah, I think they've called a timeout as well. I saw the coach signaling for one. But here's Lucky and Co. When you're up against the pistols, going in as a 5-man unit, so a very tight choke point on the map, not normally advised. CZs and Deagles in the right hands can be incredibly precarious to go up against, and we'll find ourselves with another buy for forZe. But G2 extend the lead 4-1. Round 6. Timeout. This was called by G2. You win an eco, you want to calm everyone down, the adrenaline's pumping. As we discussed yesterday, you want the other team to stew over the mistake they just made. Maybe start some bickering over there and to slow the pace right down. As you're now going to change things up. Kenny's going to have the AWP on the CT side, you're going to have the firepower finally, and you know there's a good chance you can break down the economy of your opposition. XePower will bring out the AWP into round number 6 as well, but he won't be as explosive as he will be on the CT side. He can get opening picks, but it's difficult to really snowball on the T side of Inferno.
It was the story of T-sides on Dust 2. Now we find ourselves on Inferno. So far, so good for the defense.
Very different maps.
Let's see what we got in store for the start. Early initial utility exchange. And I said exchange, it's actually all very one-dimensional, just from forZe. Double nades towards Kenny's location. He saw it coming, doesn't stop the damage being done. 57, he's lucky to be alive. Good movement from him to evade the nade. And there's the response in kind, flit down to 46. Leaving Kenny to his own devices. And Jerry to his own devices. The majority, though, from forZe, still starting to show face middle. A couple of shots from Almeza. Smokes in the air, courtesy of XePower. It will block off the CT Arch player. Shoxy, of course, capable of putting bullets through, and that's exactly what he opts to do. Unfortunately, the traces are there, and you can be punished for it. Shox is not permanently, though, still breathing. 32 points of health. Flit to push. He's considering it. Lucky with a supportive Molotov. I think he's timed that to perfection just as the smoke was dissipating. The flames arrive, and time now starting to rot.
Mid control obtained, and back towards B they go, removing the vision of the CTs out, and actually rechecked that, so they've got 3 players towards A, the CT side, and for forZe, all 5 players on this side of the map. They're very good at trying to surprise their defense with quick smokes, and it looks like this is a decent trade. Kenny, he'll be fine with that. He just needs to stay alive at this point. He's done enough to delay them. Can he stop the bomb being planted? There's a chance, and this shot doesn't happen. 3 versus 4.
They have the numbers, and the fact that Kenny's still alive, he's played it well. They can play for that retake. Kits, but no nades for the French. Wow, he's even trying to wallbang that jump up on the emote. XePower levelize. Not a real word. Doesn't stop me using it. Jerry finding the head of Kenny. He actually might find another, but Jack's the hero of G2. And Lucky lines them up as well. From CT. FaceCrack and XePower, they cast their gaze towards construction, looking to respond, and Lucky managed to catch them off guard. That will be 4 then, and now 5 actually, excuse me, for G2 Esports.
Absolutely true. forZe, it looked like they pulled that one back with a kill on Kenny S towards Ruins. He spammed all his bullets there towards the stained glass windows. It was the cue for the push to come in towards Ruins. He goes down, but Lucky with 2 quick frags from CT spawn out of nowhere. His teammate managed to get one and picked up the AWP before he could even scope. Both the opposition were down. As we have what looks to be another tactical timer. Here's the replay of Lucky from spawn. Then you can see him getting the player towards well, then following up towards new boxes as well. And XePower can't believe it.
It was a very quick adjustment. Getting the first, sure, but to find that long-range fight, back was turned. It's a great start from G2 Esports. They want to finish this series quicker than the first map. Should this go to 3, this will be... The conversation of endurance will start to become a factor, but for now, slow and steady wins the race. forZe back into the AKs. AWP in the grasp of their star AWPer, but the T side of Inferno, it really, I mean, you've already highlighted it, it can be very difficult. What's going on though? I see them... Okay, maybe this is going to be a restart.
I think you might be right. They're all in T spawn right now. jumping around AFK.
Yeah, Kenny's bouncing around.
So it doesn't look like a normal round.
No, the CTs are a CT spawn. There's
Okay.
been, yeah,
There we
we're
go.
going to be loading that one back up.
Excellent. Well, a time for us to dissect what's happened so far. G2 on the map pick of forZe now, remember, that's a very key bit of information there because they're starting the CT side because of it being the pick of forZe. Great start here. There's been a couple of touch and go rounds where forZe could have ran away with it and actually broken down the money of G2, but they lost to that all-important eco, if you remember. That was their chance to really sink their teeth into this first half and maybe get 3-4 rounds build up early, but they lost to the Deagles. We've been kind of singing their praises with the calls so far. Up against those pistols, no armor, bear in mind as well. They rushed quad and found themselves up against 4 CTs waiting on the bomb side there. That's why you want to have maybe a Mac 10 in the mix when you know up against this sort of rounds. Throw him in first with some grenades and just work out what the play is.
Which is something that their opponents, G2, do oh so well. Not only getting that read, but sending those SMGs in first. And they have players who seem to be incredibly comfortable with it. If I was to choose two, Amanek and Jax on the MP9s, on the Mac 10s, depending on the side. Jerry's back in the server, so it does look like we'll be getting it back underway shortly. Yeah, and Lucky's frags on that quad push weren't even that glamorous. I mean, they were just grey screened. They were walking through those smokes. He was just body shotting them.
Well, that's why the smokes are so important on Inferno. Even with the pistols, if you get 5 smokes out there, you're just trying to delay them, trying to segregate them as they come through. If you feel them committing, you get a smoke down to the key choke point like quad. Like you said, the grey screen effect is massive. Even if they have all the flashes and Molotov, you're still getting a slight advantage if you can position yourself well with the CZ. And we saw a lot of that. And will be the unpause coming through. forZe with a strong buy here. Looking to pick up the pieces. Here's the frag leaders for you. Lucky and Jerry locking horns with 7 frags apiece. Lucky's died on less time, both with decent ADR. Jerry 136. Round 7 coming up. All in the hands of Kenny heading towards Banana this time. He does like to take the challenge, but XE Power certainly does as well.
We're off to the races, round 7. Shock's just looking to throw that Molotov around 140 once the second mid has been foregone. Know the T's could investigate up mid, that's where the flames lie. Is certainly an investigation from forZe, no immediate commitment, but a smoke on CT. Jerry, the frag leader, alongside Almeza towards B, and they managed to draw smoke out of the CTs. This is what it's all about, slowly pulling the utility from the CT utility belt. I always wanted one of them when I was a kid. Jealous of Batman. Late. Yeah?
I could get you one.
I was just, unfortunately, as I've aged, I've realised that utility belt's kind of just like...
I did have the Batman utility belt, I'm not going to lie to you. I got that for Christmas one year. It was pretty good. You missed out.
Well, I was going to say, I've realised that they're kind of just like glamorous fanny packs. Anyway, Jax, he's going to be able to shut down one and actually swings away, still surviving. Facecrack forced to hunt and punished for it. Exa Power's on the balcony. He can't do much with it. The smoke will obscure vision on the library side. He's actually repositioning to go ahead and catch Shocked as he backs into Boiler. That's huge. He levels the playing field. Jerry's on the way back from his B presence. He did manage to keep Amanek locked in that site for the entirety of all of this. Flit, big connection onto Kenny, and there was no one to trade. They were so late to the party. They're still separated, segregated. What can you do?
Yeah, and they know Jack's in the pit as well, but they're letting him just rot in there. The bomb's ticking at some pace now. They're giving him no opportunities. He will jump up and find Almazar, and at this point, it's all starting to fall apart. Amanek, like he said, stuck towards B for so long. Nothing he can do apart from look for exit kills at this point. But there it is. forZe, much more convincing stuff, managing to get himself in a 4-on-3 situation and then playing in the post-plant very well after Jack's got 2 frags upon arrival as well.
Yeah, so there it is. He really dealt with that. I mean, there's not much more you can ask from your pit player than killing the first into the site and then dealing with the player pushing you. Just not enough of the ingredients alongside that.
Here's the replay, XE Power getting that one and then reading the play towards Shocks as well, towards Boiler, and that was great. We see that smoke so often, preemptively thrown to give you a one-way and to block any Molotovs coming through. Kenny didn't see it coming. We've seen him jump out of his skin a few times this event. forZe had him on Dust 2 the other day, and he snuck through.
Oh my god, that could have been the play of the major.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of them. Jax was one of them. So close yet so far to making these absurd and crazy plays, and it's only the 3rd day. So much more Counter-Strike to come, so many more chances for some Counter-Strike history to be written. Very strange separation, just Kenny and Amanek, of course, bringing those weapons through. should be an open and shut case for forZe, but we saw what happened with the Deagles earlier on today, and they've learnt their lesson. Restraint being displayed now.
5 players towards B. Execution looks to be the name of the game, but shoxi seems to detect it. Will he drop his smoke in time? He's only got the Deagle, he won't have a chance to. No telegraph plays here, but shoxi with the flash, and Amanek can spray them down here. It is going to be advantage G2, but they need to recover some weapons here and see if they can deny that plant.
There is a good push on that Molotov. He wants to find Amanek. Amanek's so low, caught eventually. And Jerry, he's so ready to take that fight. The bomb now finally goes down. The AWP could make things awkward or not. Not when Kenny's wielding it, that's for sure. Catches exit. Just the tip of his head on Nubox. Jerry's going to have to be the hero. He already has been. That's his 3rd kill. Flit's so low. He's going to have to try and almost 1 versus 2 this one. And he's already been caught out. Now Flit caught from 2 different directions. He does catch a glimpse of Jax, but he's so good with that CZ, and G2 have done it again.
They absolutely have. This time with the AWP and the M4, but 3 players essentially on eco there. It was shoxi who was there, ready with the grenade, and the smoke, sorry, his forZe there. Just got these great timings. They're very good at pouncing on bomb sites, and he didn't get his smoke down. They broke through, but he manages to get 1 kill. That's enough.
Everything right.
Yeah, it was enough attention though. shoxi's getting that 1 kill while blind. His teammate then had a bit of vision to spray through when all the aggro is being taken. They got a slight advantage, delayed the plant for so long, and enabled the rotations to come through, and Kenny hitting a fantastic shot towards new boxes. That really did change everything. So round 9, G2 with another successful round there.
It's a huge delivery from Kenny.
We'll see face crack now with the MAC-10. Battling for control once more, but XC Power, the fast pick through the wall, gets him. Early advantage, can upgrade that MAC-10 as well. The corner, they slow things right down. Kenny S starts to hunt for a kill now, using the smoke towards middle to spot the top of the boiler steps. But once again, heading back towards B of all 5 players. They recover the bomb from T steps. Kenny can't spot anything middle. Will it cause a rotation towards B? They're going to need it. There's only 1 player there right now. Amanek's rotating through spawn towards A. shoxi alone has got a smoke to buy some time.
You waiting for a sound cue? No, just wants to replace it. You are starting to back away. Leaving Jerry, it certainly does seem to be the forZe default as such. Just leave Jerry to his devices on B. Kenny with aggression towards middle. He could be traded off here. The flash is there, perfect from the track. Almeza's already found 1. Lucky stands his ground. Will not let forZe have that bracket control for free. Makes it incredibly costly, but already 3 lost for the French, just 2 to remain. It'll be shox on this B side. He's actually going to flash himself through. Jerry so ready for it, as was Exit Power.
Yeah, you ideally, that's a lovely flash. We had to fire his gun a couple of times before the bounce of the flashbangs. They heard that flash coming right in. If you'd fired the rifle off a couple of times on the connection of the bounce, maybe you would have got away with that one, but they heard the bounce and took him down. It was a lovely idea from shox, but Lucky will have to save the AWP. And finally, forZe will post their 3rd round. 6-3. Money shouldn't be too strong if Lucky saves the AWP. Kenny S has just shy of $6,000. shoxi can buy himself as well. If there is a buy there, as long as his AWP makes it to the next round.
These rounds have been so close. I mean, forZe have managed to plant that bomb and then lose the round already 4 times. 4 diffuse victories coming out from G2. And with all of those, it's been what? 2 players remaining, 1 player remaining, no players remaining, 2 players remaining. They've been kept honest by forZe. There is still a breaking point to come, perhaps, but this will be their 3rd. And again, that double kill from Exit Power, he really did open up that round with that wallbang. Can't expect that every round, but Jax was the one to meet his demise straight through the wall.
Let's have a look at it.
Oh, it wasn't even. Wasn't what I thought it was. Quick on the corner, and the 2nd on shox with Jerry's comms that the flash was coming.
Well, there we go. The odds coming through. They could change very quickly. forZe on the comeback trail here. Like I said, there is a buy available. The AWP survives, which it does. But there will be compromises. We'll get into round 10 here. I assume there's another gun spawn. CZ for Lucky, so he doesn't have the default pistol at this stage. Kenny will go towards B alone, allowing 4 players to reside towards that A side. Grenades, luckily, don't go to the corner. Aiming towards a sandbag. Kenny down to 14 HP, but he has at least let himself be known to have the AWP on that side of the map. I want to continue on this.
He nearly met the same fate as Jax, and I can't can't believe he's been given the responsibility of a solo B-hole with that AWP, given the damage done to him already.
Well, he's just hoping he's done enough to fend them off towards A, but they know they've done considerable damage towards Kenny. If an AWP is up, there could be a chance that this stack could be happening here. Best way to counter an AWP is with the smokes. Smokes towards coffins and spawns. I don't see a world where Kenny can get more than 1 kill if they do this correctly. Flash is decent. They know exactly where he is. Here come the smokes, and that pretty much nullifies him. He has to fall back.
I wonder if it was Molotoving to try and catch that smoke coming in. Either way, FaceCrack's nade finishes what Almeza started right at the start. Shots though. Wasn't ready for so many players to be there so soon. Amanek, however, does manage to get himself a kill and an upgrade into the M4 for this retake.
Yeah,
retake might be a strong word. Instead, just goes on a scavenging mission, wants to use his flash and that what remains of that smoke for him and his teammates to get the hell out of dodge. They do so. G2 will preserve, but forZe will persevere.
Yeah, nice work from forZe there. They weren't intimidated by the Kenny at all. They knew there was a way to shut that down, especially with the damage being done. He couldn't be super aggressive with it. Good positioning from Lucky as well. So they get those smokes down, flash over, and they finish him off with the grenade. They knew he was low HP. Kenny did what he could. As I mentioned, him getting 1 kill would be about the very top end of what he could do with that HP. Unable to do it, the flashbang was perfect. The follow-up smoke was even better. And a couple of kills coming from G2, but they have to save the weapons here. The money's just not there. They get a second bite of the cherry with 2 rifles and the AWP that we've thrown back towards Kenny. He was B alone in the previous round. Where does he fancy his chances this time? He can do a double setup towards the apartments with the AWP and the rifle pushed out. We've seen that plenty of times this tournament, but as you mentioned, it's such a risk-reward factor there.
Yeah, the double kill. Yeah, it can happen. Certainly when you've got aimers in the server like forZe. And we are off. Round 11, map 2, game 1, day 3.
Well, Kenny not using the AWP. Shoxy will be using it this time.
Getting his ears back in. A slow approach from forZe. Three rifles for G2 to keep this defense afloat with.
When G2 were running a double AWP setup on Inferno CT side, it was Shoxy that would hold B. And Kenny was very powerful stuff. They're trying to replicate that now. It's the first pick for forZe here. FaceCrack will get the first, but a quick reply from Kenny. Remember, no armor as well. He put it back to 4 and 4. That's more like it. Works out very nicely. Pushing them towards B. They know the AWP's there now, but they know they can shut that down. Once again, with the correct smokes and flashbangs, they can make life very difficult for Shoxy. Smokes will spawn. And this will be a Molotov or the emo position thrown by FaceCrack.
Shox is holding the aggressive line, but doesn't matter about the flash. He's even got a smoke to keep new boxes away to get out of this. He can take the shot and fall back if he needs, but I don't know if he needs. Kenny's going to push this smoke. X is going to miss the shot, and that is another one for G2. They handle it. G2 have won 3 rounds now of the 7 that they boast with a less than ideal buy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. That's the 3rd for sure. Well, there it is. That's what they wanted to do before, have the AWP. I have to say, Shoxy probably plays that better because he had 100 HP. He's actually there playing off angles, positions you can't necessarily smoke off. He's standing in the open. He makes sure he's a bit aggressive here. The second shot he got while blind as well, timed to perfection. And then the spam coming through. They know he's going to be there. Doesn't work out. Almeza trying to pre-fire him, and we get into a pause. This time for G2 once again, discussing their options into the next round, trying to work out the money. The coach will be tracking that in his head, just trying to chime in and work out how they can fend off these ensuing P250s and CZs. There's one AK-47 for XE Power, so they're not fully investing into this one, but Jerry has, just keep that in mind, he's down to $50. The rest of them hovering around $2,500. Around 12.
A pause for both, of course, despite being called by the French, so...
Also, it's such a tense game here.
It really does. Now, I want to remind everyone of what is at stake and also what's going on elsewhere. Being day 3 of the major, some teams have already locked themselves in for legend status. North and Mouse Sports picking themselves up to 3 wins, 0 losses. And on the other side of things, we've waved goodbye to 2 teams, Tyloo and INTZ. The rest is all up for debate. Another loss recently, Simon Gaming impressing us by taking Furia out of the mix, and Kenny is taking Jerry straight out of this round.
Kill. Kenny has given AWPing responsibilities once again. Shoxy's had his fun. Krieg for Amanek. 1 smoke remaining on the 4 side. Need XE Power to really step over the AK. I feel like a flash attack from the apartments is about as good as it gets. It all really comes down to timings here. If you catch him with the flashbang, good chance you can get towards the pit and overwhelm the CT presence. That's going to be Jax holding that position. They want to go for it. Waiting for any sort of pushes here. The 1 minute mark. Still with the flashbang and smoke available.
What can you do?
You can smoke the end of the apartments and flash out. That's about...
Yep, straight foul quad and have a go. Jax is in pit. You know he's got a smoke. It's not like they have a Molotov to worry about, but all the same, he can play around it. We've seen him do it time and time again.
Here's the flash, and in they go.
That's the smoke deployed to play around. Now, he can have his eyes towards Exapower looking for that right flow, and they're still not able to find Jax just yet. They're putting in all the bullets necessary. Flip does catch Jax, and now Shocks by falling. It's all onto Lucky. He has to find another. He's already got the double. That should be enough. It's all onto FaceCrack. Just one remains for forZe in pursuit of 5th. Lucky gone, though, just as he gets a fresh mag. Now Kenny pushing, you can hear him. If he gets this, it's suddenly a chance for a 1 versus 3. Amanek's late to the party in Library. And FaceCrack, speaking of Library, has read this like a book. He knows he's got time to get that bomb down, but I'm not sure he's ready for that. Oh, that's enough info. Amanek, so precise.
Great
he saves
shot.
the day.
Yeah, Kenny hoping he could arrive at the planter's position just as he gets off the bomb, finish him off the P250. It did risk everything. The fact he went down is a great attempt there from FaceCrack. 3 kills in total. Makes it a very expensive round, but Amanek there to pick up the pieces. This was wonderful. You see Kenny, that's exactly what he's trying to do there. He's trying to trade it out just before. Didn't work for him. And it goes 8-4 though overall as they recover the round. That was the partial investment, remember, from forZe, apart from Jerry, who went all in. So he'll be on pistol this round. Not a big deal. It's got to play accordingly. 3 AKs and the AWP for Exapower. Like we said, his T side won't be that impressive, but wait till he switches over and he has a chance to dictate the pace and his positioning.
Yeah, certainly. Very impressive AWP on the CT side. Kenny was trying to take the fight, but
through the wickets.
Straight between him. He makes him. Just line it up. I don't know which nade he's pulled.
It's the HE. So he'll bounce out of the skybox and detect them at the top by the barrels and try and do damage once they're there. There's the HE now. Doesn't do as much as he'd like. You see it lands right on top of the barrels there. I
think Jerry was kept safe and sound just by that lovely little polygon.
Yeah. Yeah, HEs in CSGO sometimes can be a little confusing.
Yeah, don't get like any sort of steps.
Yeah.
Can really throw a spanner in the works, but for now, too much damage done. Kenny's investigating alongside 2. Amanek's there. Jerry with only a CT. Oh, and the timing's there. Just as he starts to switch, that sucks. That's great for G2. They can deep smoke, and that's going to lock any sort of force presence down. Flip makes his location, his whereabouts all too clear. Sprays through the smoke close by steps, but now Jack's catching Almster. Almeza.
I did it once as well.
Yeah, we did. We both got one.
Both done it. Let it go.
I don't know why our brains can't process that information. Great work from Shocks, though. Flit and FaceCrack. Lined up. Both backs turned. Some of the easiest frags he's going to get this map. They don't come easy.
There it is. It's G2 capitalizing upon the lack of presence towards B there. Flashing over, confirming. There was only Jerry in that position. He was caught with a nade in his hands. That's unfortunate. They overwhelmed the banana position. And at that point, forZe tried to fight back for the quad push, but picked up 1 by 1. And 4 players survived for G2 here. Round 14 coming up. They do save the AWP, but they can't really justify a full investment. It'll be pistols to join Exapower. As we mentioned, it's not like he can find a ton of kills and just run around the map getting them. They'll be locked up by smokes, incendiaries, HEs at the very beginning till the very end.
Yeah. You see, I mean, you know, we see some of the very best teams in the world just choose not to ever touch the AWP on the T side, but yeah, for forZe, it does seem like a priority regardless. And that's why Exapower opens up the round for his team. Jax, if they had a HE, actually, they could perhaps try and go on a pursuit of that weapon. A smoke is in the hands of Exapower. That rifle still a tempting prospect. It looks like it will be foregone by G2. They're not there to contest. Instead, they choose to push for some B control. Lucky's actually solo at this point. He's going to have to do a whole lot already. He's been dinked. Oh no, this is going spiraling out of control already. They have the side force locking this one down. That's insane. Kenny catches it. Exapower. That was the firepower cut down to size by the French AWPer. And now just like that, everything starts to tumble out of control for forZe. Amanek does take the first fight. Face cracked though with 2 HP. He will be finished off by shoxi. 10-4 the score, but my goodness, that could have very easily been the 5th for forZe if Kenny doesn't hit that.
Well, Kenny shows his power for sure. There it is. That shot from the library towards quad. The second one was just marvelous. That's experience stats. That one's pretty standard, but look at this. He's getting ready for jumping over. Wasn't even a wallbang, a clean kill. As we go 10-4, double digits on the French side. Now remember, that was essentially a partial buy. They had the orb shore, but there was, what, 4 CZs to go with it. Still a compromise round here with the Galil in the hands of FaceCrack. XPower with no grenades at all. Jerry with just a flashbang. It's going to take a lot here, and the orb knows he has to deliver an opening pick. He did this before. Can he do it again? Hits Kenny down at 5 HP, and lucky not to get that kill as Kenny scuttles away back towards the coffin position here. Amanek will try and push them back with a decent HE.
Very good. Flit and XPower feeling that one. Kenny with 5 HP is still brave enough to hold this line. A single stray bullet into the brickwork would catch him, but that doesn't stop Kenny. Reads XPower perfectly and actually goes for another! He's got 3! He's nearly got the same amount of kills as he does HP. Kenny, yes, keeps B safe.
I love that from Kenny. He's got the AWP, he's got the perfect flashbang, he gets the collat. 5 versus 2 now. FaceCrack with the Galil. Almeza with the AWP. They haven't got a minute, but 2 smokes, 5 kills to find. I'm not sure it's going to happen. We'll see if there's anything left to be said about this round.
Just like that. Looks like this half will end with a big smile on the face of G2. Jackson shores it. Catches FaceCrack and now Almeza. He's going to be caught from shoxi. Wow. Solid defense from the French.
Yeah, this is the scoreline they seem to love, Alex. 11-4 once again, 3 times in 2 days. We'll see if they can keep it up. It's forZe's map pick, though. They're still in this one. We'll find out if they can win the pistol after this break.
Back in business, and so are G2. It was quite the marathon on Dust 2, but we find ourselves in map 2. It's going to be Inferno, and a solid defense from the French put them in good stead. 11-4. forZe, they have really impressed so far here in Berlin, but so did Kenny S. Take a look at this. This is how the half ended. A collateral from Kenny with 5 HP.
Beautiful.
And Machine, he's Henry, and we're back into it.
Jerry with the Julies on the CT side. He's got a smoke as well, if you're not aware. Earlier in the year, they were reduced to $400. Means you can actually buy them in the pistol now and have a bit of utility as well. So seeing them more and more. A few times it's made it so far. Jax will be challenging towards middle, up against the USPs, gets the dink off. FaceCrack down to 23, and Flitz is trying to get the hell out of there. Smoke towards Archer, so they're committing to this one, and Amanek will get the first kill. What a scalp to take as well. XPower dropped, and Amanek won't stop.
No one's going to stop. Flip does find a double. That actually keeps things within the reach of the CT. Saying that though, Jerry, Julie's in a smoke. I'm not sure it's ideal for the circumstances.
He's dropped a smoke towards the pit area to allow them to have some sort of access, but it's not the best.
Kenny can find a perfect angle over the top of that. That's not something they're going to be pre-aiming, and Jerry's gone. FaceCrack's low, even lower. And Shox finds the conclusion. Excuse me?
What was that? Is that a word or a noise?
A cat, perhaps, present in the studio. Like you.
Well, you got to love it. So just for context, it's been a long, drawn-out series here. It's only on the second map. We had close to 60 rounds on Dust 2. So that was 2 maps in itself, essentially. And that was the pick of G2. They just about got through that. Now forZe find themselves in a very difficult situation. They lose this to 13-4 down, and they'll have no money for the next round. So it could be 14-4 if they do not win this round of Deagles and a Scout. G2 will have the SMGs, and the Scout does not deliver the headshot upon arrival. No damage done on the second peak.
Wow, so willing to take that fight.
He has to. He needs big results here. At least some tags.
Something to make those Deagles all the more deadly. They've invested heavily. Mac 10s, admittedly, could be meeting their issues with those helmets. 3 members of the CT's forces do have that advantage. Oh, Almeza.
Here we go.
Peeks into the AK and wins the fight. Tight line.
The AK alone as well. And the bomb's going up by itself to try and recover it. This could fall apart.
Oh, yeah, especially if they were to re-aggress. We do see Jerry with a flashbang on B. They could likely flash him in if they wanted to. Instead, he's just on his way. Shox waiting. Does Shox have the bomb? He does. Kenny's supporting him though, and just like that, the problem is solved. A little awkward, a little dicey.
It always is going to be, though. This sort of matchup, and there's so much skill on either side, they're going to hit 1Ds. Sometimes you can't avoid that. It's incredibly difficult to peek at an angle and just get a quick bullet off like that and beat the AKs, but it's going to happen. G2 are aware of that, and they've kept 3 players alive here. The objective is winning the round. They've done that with decent numbers. There's no money for forZe to buy into the next round. It's 13-4 with an eco coming up as well. Should be the 14th round locked in for G2 on their T side. Then it's theirs. The series is in the palm of their hand. They just need to grasp it, finish things off, and stay calm. But closing games out has not been their specialty at this event from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's true. I think this would be a big confidence boost for G2.
I think so. And do you know what? Like some of the plays and kind of tactics and panic they've shown in some of the key situations, I think they've learned a lot from these losses the last couple of days, and they're still going to have the same result as if they won yesterday. They probably learn a lot more about their team as this journey continues. It's looking very likely they get the 2-0 now, but need to maintain their focus. As we said, it has to be the eco here for forZe. Replay of the kills coming through.
Kenny kind of saved Shoxy there.
Yeah.
Kenny didn't have the presence of mind to support. Likely told to support by Shox. You can see his mouth was moving an awful lot when he was close up by that half wall. Still, round 18. Power looking to try and turn the tide with a quick drive by Scout. He doesn't take too much damage from nades up middle, and now Maze is trying to do a whole lot of damage. Nothing to show for it. Jerry, he has the support of Flip. Flash in 2! With the 5-7, the Flames don't let him escape, but instead he might have to hunt. Now allowed to escape, and that's damage done.
They had to throw everything they could to that B position. The flashbangs go over. The 5-7 delivers 2 kills.
Wow.
They have the advantage. But Kenny S, he's on the prowl. He's got a teammate towards the apartments. There is a CT residing there. If he crouches in the corner, Lucky probably gets this, and he checks it. Great work. That's the A side essentially open. A tag comes in. Power knows he's done damage here. Can he find the follow-up? He tags Lucky as well.
Oh, what? It's just filthy. Power catches Lucky through the walls. Amanex gone as well, caught by Flit.
That's the bomb and boiler.
Power, he's so dynamic, nimble.
It's crazy.
With that Scout. Admittedly, Flit and Jerry very low. That's not going to stop Flit from not only getting the kill, takes the AK into the next, and forZe, that's going to be a breath of fresh air.
They can do this now. That's all they needed. Now they can actually get a gun round out there. You can get the orb in the hands of Power. They just had to make that round work. The 5-7 delivers. You can see the flashbang from Flip enable Jerry to have a second to get out there. I don't know how he hits that shot, Alex. I couldn't tell you. He hit 2 tags before that as well.
Yeah.
He already tagged Lucky and finishes him off through the smoke with no vision at all. That is absurd.
Damn. And this is just another day in the office. Welcome to the major. Welcome, Power. That was enough for Henry to believe that there's resistance possible now from forZe.
Definitely. They can do this now. G2 will be rattled after that one, but they have been very good in their own right with the pistols.
It's true. You don't want to get caught out now. Play standard. FaceCrack can hear all of it. Wanted to stand his ground, and now that could get a bit awkward. Lucky gets to 1 trade. That's advantage for the T's. Power, that's close quarters with the AWP up against pistols. It makes things a little scary.
They have a smoke, they can smoke off the apartments, or the incendiary does quite nicely as well. Buys them enough time in the 3-on-3 to get that bomb planted. They have 2 rifles now, but no residual utility.
Kits on extra power, keep that in mind as the rest of this round does transpire. They've managed to get the CT up. Excuse me, Amanek in towards the balcony. 2 members in from short. Almeza from Library. Kenny's holding the angle aggressively. Jerry with a double onto Shoxy. One's low, but lower, 6 feet lower. Now Jerry. Oh, it's going to be the double. Just like that, Shox with a triple total. 2 in quick succession in the 1 versus 2. And just like that, now G2 find themselves 2 away from the Legend stage.
1 bullet separates all of that. XePower actually played that well. He knew there was no armor there. Shoxy had 75 HP. He delivers the headshot. The drive-by with the pistol could have been enough, but wasn't meant to be. All of a sudden, G2 back in the driving seat. What a brilliant finish from the captain of G2 here. Knows what he has to do to hit that shot. It means so much to them. They pull it back at the pistols, and now they have the advantage once again. The shotguns are out, the 5.7s, the MP9, but XePower still with the AWP, Alex. You know he's going to be hitting some shots this round.
You can see the priority of forZe, respect for their AWP. Now he's trying to make a difference. He's going to have to try and make an impact, and it's going to be a very quick flick. If Lucky goes wide here, one of the shots is expecting a second. It's not quick enough. Anticipating too much more movement from Lucky. Now Lucky looking to double up, and he does that. G2, hot pursuit for 15.
They just need to sit back now. They've taken away the AWP. They need to be aware of that. Kenny's spotted another player. He's got the MP9. Oh my goodness, Kenny, chill out. You don't have to go in for this.
Oh my god, they line up!
Wow.
They lined up for Jerry's spray. They're low, but that could have gone so terribly wrong for G2. They thank the lucky stars, the bomb's going in.
Kenny's believing in himself.
That's evident.
Shotgun and 5.7 to deny series points here. G2, 1 round away from the next stage of the tournament.
Couple of days off for them. Nice pickup. Amanek's just going to go ahead and use his signature weapon. XePower's got his, Amanek's got his, you know?
Exactly. 3 kills for Lucky. After losing that first pick, it could have fallen apart. XePower had every right to get that no-scope connected. Wasn't expecting the player to be such close range. He's to do what he can with the shotgun here, but Lucky gets his 4th. Excellent work. They have 10 series points here, Alex.
Now Lucky, a quiet 18 alongside Kenny. Shox on 20. And it is going to be the new Legends stage point for G2. Get themselves to the next stage of competition. A lot of people had them in their pick'ems. Lots of high expectations for this French squad, but forZe too. They'll of course have another shot should they concede here on Inferno. Look at this. Woof, woof, woof. Lucky just holding Kenny's hand in that aggression. I mean, imagine if Lucky just had a moment's hesitation. XePower hasn't got any of that. Charging down second mid for a warning shot.
He's unreal, isn't he? He just took down Kenny S. At T steps of a scout. There's no problem at all. He's tagged up Amanek as well by the looks of things. Unreal scenes here.
Both flash, so Lucky can't worry too much. How does he get out of this one? He has the support. Eyes from Shox. And they will back away. The CTs realise it's not a fight they can take, certainly not with the weaponry that they've brought into this round to try and fend off. Match point.
Yeah, still with advantage G2, considering the weaponry. No one with a rifle on the forZe side. 3 MP9s, 1 Desert Eagle, 1 smoke, and that's scouts. But don't discount that. That's actually completely fine in his hands. He seems more than serviceable with that weapon.
Scoped weapons makes it power. Oh, that's aggressive. Almeza profits from that. He had the sound cue. Jax was pulling a nade and did manage to push on it. Now XePower attack lands the tag with a scout. Lines him up for face crack with the MP9. Mowing down G2, and this match point looks like it's going to go a little longer. Just Shox left. Did get 1. He's on for the double kill so far. 3 more to find and no health really to do it. Jerry swings and running out of ammo. Will be the 6th for forZe.
Well, that's the chance for them to get some decent weaponry now. They take 2 AKs and the AWP into the next round. Money still strong for G2. They can bring out a full buy here. And now it'll be 9 rounds in a row for forZe. Certainly still possible. CT side of Inferno, their map pick. Sure, they lost the CZ before, but it should be gun rounds from this point. AK purchased by Kenny. Mac-10's coming out as well. So they've done this buy a few times this tournament. Like, it's a partial buy of sorts with a bit of extra spice in there. So they're operating with Mac-10s, Deagles, armor, smoke, but they keep their money around the $2,000 mark, even though they could have bought into this round. Just trying to play bigger picture stuff here.
Right.
And look to the future and make sure they have absolutely everything they need to close this game out instead of finding themselves force buying round after round.
It's a nice approach.
Yeah, and the Mac-10, the way it's been operating this event, like, it's becoming so prolific within CSGO. Like, the MP9, the Mac-10, they've had a fantastic year. Those weapons, they really have come into the forefront of the game.
And certainly in this man's hands, Amanek and Jax picking them up, who seem to be the connoisseurs of the SMG. And it also, when I look at it, it doesn't see. I don't immediately think that G2 haven't got a chance. I mean, that's terrifying.
We've seen what Amanek is capable of with the Mac-10.
Kenny got that AK as well. That's the spice you were talking about. Up mid brackets, no resistance immediately. So power could get caught off. Where's the long information going to be coming from? No members of forZe are concerned of that yet. And at the moment, G2, they could be slipping straight in for somewhat of a flank towards B.
Yeah, they've gone undetected here.
Spawn.
But there is a player looking towards it. Almeza is aware of his potential. I think he's looking towards CT spawn right now, and now he definitely will be. Doesn't do any damage towards Jack. Smoke down there. Now he's lost information as to where he's gone. He goes towards ruins.
Oh my god, look at this though. This is some sort of strange vice grip from the CTs. 3 of them charging towards Banana, but the bomb's on A. They've charged down middle. Kenny's going to greet them from the other side. It's a complete role reversal. Now Power's finding himself in the underpass, trying to find picks mid. Yes, the bomb's down on A. The CTs putting on their berets as they have to kind of role play and attack this site. Jax on the defense gets shut down. And they are clearing all of the corners necessary. They get the information. There's 2 left, and they know where one of them is. Amanek being hunted down. His friend in pit is Shoxy. Nice pre-fire from Amanek. He keeps winning these duels. Upgrades to the rifle. Shot still firing off the shot. Does connect onto Jerry to lower the HP, but still 3 hunting him down. He can't find it. Not bad to adjust for Almeza on Graveyard, but still, that's forZe's 7th. Still fighting their way to keep their head above water.
Decent round there from G2, getting the bomb down, a couple of kills to make sure they get a really strong buy going forward. They'll be averaging just over $5,000. And Kenny can afford an orb and even a helmet if he wants it. Doesn't have to on the T side. Timeout will be on the agenda here. I think they just called it. There it is. So, a chance to discuss their options here. They are going to have a full buy. They want to close this out before it gets to double digits, ideally. Don't want to experience any more of those woeful comebacks. It's going to be a difficult one to swallow if it happens again.
I mean, CT side of Inferno, we've certainly seen, you know, the CT side of Inferno attribute itself to the possibility for extended comebacks. You can set up that wall, but that's once the money's flowing. You can see certainly it is for forZe now. They'll have all of that utility. And this is going to be a very important round. They're running out of time for this timeout. Malek's mic will be muted. And the high fives coming in. It's time to see what forZe can do, or will G2 do it in the 2-0 fashion, keeping this one a little more under lock and key than Dust 2.
Round 23. Power has been such an unstoppable force.
Got the spawn for mid, and I think he might even be wanting to take this peek. Kenny versus Power. Into the toes he goes. Kenny's going to be bleeding internally after that one. Forced to operate with a bit more fragility than he's expecting for the next 90 seconds. Oh, that's a good molly. Forces to smoke out the T's as well. Match point. The next stage of competition is just 5 frags away for the French.
It's a flashbang coming over towards B in his second. Almeza looking to strike G2 here. Will fall back. Doesn't fancy it. Bomb still down at T steps. G2 have got banana control, but not much else. I'll smoke towards the arch side and send all of their units towards the B side of the map. 2 players residing there. It's going to be Jerry and Almeza. They've got a flashbang between them. That's it. So you know he's just trying to get a pick here, maybe.
Jack's ready to take that fight, but Almeza gets that on the trade. The smokes will land. Almeza looking to double up, but the trade is there from Jerry, and he's got time. There's a gap in that assault, enables him to scurry away to Nubox, and now the time continuing to tick away. 20 seconds, G2, they've turned in tail. They're on the way towards A, and there's 2 CTs ready to receive them. This could be forZe's 8th. It's looking difficult, especially without neglecting to stare at the pit. Kenny's still lingering on B. FaceCrack's done enough. And G2, after that timeout, they've got nothing to show for it.
Weren't believing in the B bomb side there. It was weird. They sent players in and then didn't follow it up at all. Left us under 20 seconds with a full rotation towards A. They didn't have any time to be methodical about it. I feel like when she got that pick, that trade, you notice at least one player on B. Like, you might as well commit off that and see if you can at least trade him out and get the bomb planted. But this is way too easy for FaceCrack to finish things off. They had no time. They're already distracted by the presence of the A side player. Round 24, Kenny saves the AWP, so they'll go for some CZs and, of course, the MAC-10s can out for Amanek.
Looks like a forZe buy.
Yeah, indeed. Lucky will have a CZ, and he buys that right at the nick of time. 3 players towards A again for the double stack towards apartments. We have seen lots of pushes with that up towards the end of apps. Does he want to go for that? Looks like he'll just be holding. You've
been talking about this crossfire a lot.
Yeah, this is a more passive style. You can see they're not actually fully committed. They can get out of there if they have to.
The AWP just staring at that stare arrival. FaceCrack leads the line. Amanek arrives next. No worries. FaceCrack can fall away now. It's there to support as well, catching Lucky from Boiler. Nice trade from Shocks though. Pushed up on the Deagle to find himself his first, and the first for G2 too. All too familiar. Feels like deja vu from the round prior. Kenny up against the odds, and wow. Hitting flicks like that, perhaps not a reminder of the round prior. This is all new territory. The bomb, however, is loose in mid, and that's going to make this an all too tall of a task.
Great shot from Kenny, but it's going to need a lot more where that came from to stand a chance there. He has been spotted jumping towards the T-steps. He's not aware of it, but he has seen the grenades thrown. Now, does he want to try and hold on to the AWP or try and see if he can find some wiggle room here towards the T-bridge?
It should be impossible, but taking extra power down is a huge scalp. That's his second, looking to clutch for the match. No, prevents his back to Almeza. And that will be a lovely AWP scavenged away into the next and starting to prepare for longevity. forZe closing in on double digits. That's 4 in a row. Fighting off match point.
Kenny didn't get any money from the previous round. He'll be set at around $3,000 right now. They'll take another tactical timeout here. The last one. G2 desperate to close this. Cannot go to overtime again. Shoxy currently with 23 kills.
That would break them.
We've got Kenny S beneath and 21. XE Power, not actually the top. He's only got 14 kills, I say only, but the kills he has had to keep them in the game have been superb, to say the least.
Henry and Dust 2, G2 used their pause around now, and then felt, well, played another map of Counter-Strike, essentially, equivalent.
Close on 60 rounds total.
So that's the last timeout called, as G2 try and find a recipe for success. A way to break this 4-round streak of forZe and close this one out for the Legend stage.
One will do it. Doesn't matter how you get there, doesn't have to be pretty, just need to get through this stage. They can do it in the next 6 rounds. 3 AKs. A CZ for Kenny. Amanek with the MAC-10. XE Power.
He's ahead of it.
He is ahead of it. He's got a kill here. Lucky's not going to see this coming.
And he can just dip into that smoke as soon as he pulls the trigger as well.
The flashbang might save him. Yeah, it does. Nice work.
Perfectly played by Lucky to keep his heart beating. I know mine is for sure. I'm sure Flip, as the call is coming in, that it's going to be pressure on A. Here's 2. FaceCrack from Pit finds a double again. How is he still doing this? He's escaping as well. Using that smoke, using that flash. Amanek can't even find him. They're next to each other. They're holding hands. It's chaos. And Amanek goes down. FaceCrack cannot be stopped. 4 frags from him. Kenny's trying to fight back, but FaceCrack from Pit keeps forZe in it. 10. They break the double digits. That's so many match points for G2 now. 5 in a row that they've let slip by.
We've been singing his praises the last few days. FaceCrack really started to turn up now. It might not be too late. 15-10. They've got double digits. That's when you start to doubt yourself with the G2 side. Nothing's working. You can't penetrate the bomb sites. No bombs have been planted in general. They're going to take another partial buy here with the CZs and MAC-10s. Is it a faster approach here that is trying to overwhelm a position? Or do they go back to a slower paced default? Run booster. That's really nice.
Smooth.
Little tricks.
We've got Swagger, has forZe, and Almeza has just found the perfect pixel to stand on. Just on the edge of that Molotov. Aggressive warping from Exit Power. Can he get away? The Molotov should ensure it. He can disappear to fight another day. G2 though, they want to apply some pressure to Flit here. He's very low, doesn't stop him taking the fight with Kenny and winning it. Just 3 Ts remain, round 26.
Well, Kenny and Shox removed. Jack's at 15 HP. Just with Mac 10s and CZs here, yes, they have an interesting position holding towards CT spawn, but can they really do anything with this? The bombs in the apartments on the back of Amanek. There's smoke.
Their hold is so tight.
Yeah, I don't see them giving anything away here. XE Power's got Arch under control. Face crack from Graveyard, patrolling the apartments. It looks like everything's covered. You can see we've got Flitz who's watching quad right from the back of the side as well. So this is a real nice crossfire they got set up here.
I mean, perhaps that low HP Jax could be somewhat of a way to get the CTs to move. Just try and show face with the low HP man. But instead, a smoke towards B. They use Lucky. They want to use that utility to try and draw those CTs away from those lines of sight. And just like that, forZe break the hold. Discrec investigating, and oh my god, Jax now, not only does he get the kill, he gets the rifle. Numbers heavily favor forZe though. Amanek, he's been waiting for so long in this balcony. Did catch a tip of the head, but keeps his legs on the way through and extra power.
No way, Alex.
Oh wow, close. A meter separating them. AWP versus SMG, he still prevails.
That dude is so wild. I knew he was good coming to this tournament, but this is so impressive. The shots he's hitting, the way he reacts to certain sound cues, he seems to be so aware. Always playing correctly, it seems.
He must be such a nuisance to play against.
Yeah, like I can't believe what I'm seeing from him. Like it looks like, okay, they know where he is, they're going to find him. As soon as he has one footstep, he's repositioned, got himself in the prime spot.
Movement.
Crazy.
Okay, 15 to 11. G2, they're starting to get Dust 2 flashbacks.
Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? 4 rounds will do it. XE Power's not slowing down. He goes towards second middle. This time flashed, he'll fall back safely. HE delivered towards the top of Banana. Doesn't do too much damage. One in return. That should do a lot more. Oh my goodness, it does. Over 50 to Lucky there. And they've got full Banana control on the CT side. Oh, another grenade as well. I don't think that'll be as impactful.
Deep Smoke arrives. Courtesy of Jerry. Looking to break. Oh, what? Full flashed Almeza. No headshot necessary. Into the body of Lucky. Now, G2 looking to find the final round with 4. Does seem like there's a smidge of indecision at this point.
Bear in mind, if you're just joining us, 15-5 is the score. G2 had this one. It was done. But it's like, well, maybe a few more rounds to be found here, but forZe have got themselves right back in this game. Round 27, they have the man advantage as well. XE Power feeling the pressure. Kenny S gets one through the smoke. XE will have to hit absolutely everyone here. Nails the first one. Still alive and kicking. His teammates backing him up. They're trading blows on this A site. Still alive is the sniper at the very back here. They're aware of it. He's going to hit one of these, surely, and he does go down eventually. It's the no scope he goes for.
15.
Bomb will be planted, and the retake begins. Low HP for Shox and Kenny.
Huge work from Kenny S in this round with that AK-47. The pick on pick got them in. Now looking for the head on Jerry, but that's a hard shot to hit. He's done it anyway. On to Shox for the 1v2 for the match.
No way.
It's got the first. Almeza, you've got to save the day for forZe. He does, so brave. Jumps on the box. The barrel of the AWP pressed against his temple. Doesn't stop him. And another round for forZe. You said it was 15-5. Well, 15-12 sounds all the more juicy for forZe.
They get the bomb planted. They have another buy available to them. It comes down to the wire there. A 1 versus 1. Shox had to dig so deep just to even get that first frag. There was a chance for the second. If it connected, it would have been absolutely
so many chances.
Fantastic, but it doesn't connect. And now 3 rounds until forZe get us to overtime.
I mean, Almeza, he started that round and he finished it with style as well. The shot onto Lucky. And yeah, you can see that's going to be a hard one, a bitter pill to swallow. No timeouts left. It's worth mentioning when you see reactions like that. G2 cannot pause. Play on. forZe have the weapon advantage once again.
Oh, Jerry's going to get flashed over.
It could be the perfect time for the ball straight at him, and completely blind. It's a double kill, and Jerry nearly tags up another. Kenny down to 56. Almeza is a heroic flash, but now he's got to do the fragging.
Oh, here we go then. Kenny S will get the second pick towards B. They've got to commit on this. Have they got to smoke with CT Spawn? They don't. Kenny will have to challenge it while they cross over with the bomb.
Flash is
He's
good.
being flashed all over the shot, but it looks like he has some sort of control. He needs to get a wider angle though to confirm that. Can't hit the shot. All of a sudden it's a 3-on-2 in favor of forZe once again.
What is this game? forZe continue to find resistance, find resilience. They actually play the waiting game. They know that that boost is a possibility. Amanek does fall off after finding the frag. Now G2, 2 frags away from the Legend stage. They've got that bomb down. They've been this close before. They've had it taken away from them before. There is a smoke, there is a kit, there is a Molotov starting to be deployed. FaceCrack throws out the flames. Extra power from construction. Amanek's just going to play the waiting game. They know they've got to touch that bomb. Jax from the going to swing into him. They know where he is. It's FaceCrack in the 1v1. Amanek has the health advantage. Onto the bomb. FaceCrack goes warning shots as Amanek. He could get played with this one. 1 second, he's done it. And G2, a sigh of relief as the headphones come out for such resilience displayed by them. But it will be the French squad locking themselves in for the next stage of the major.